flying humanoids, aerotaxis from mayonnaise manufacturer Sloboda, Neuralink chip testing on people, new smart augmented reality glasses, nimble robotics, new robots, and other most interesting news from the world of high tech. A company that makes mayonnaise and other products under the Sloboda brand has shown the flight of a prototype of its unmanned air cab. It's reported that the company created the device from scratch and invested more than 1 billion rubles in the development. High-Fly Taxi from EFCO Group of companies can fly up to 15 kilometers and carry cargo weighing up to 120 kilograms. The drone is equipped with 16 electric motors in 2 planes, which provides the vehicle stability and maneuverability. The drone can continue flight and make a landing even in case of a failure with up to 4 engines. The creators are going to start regular flights of Hi-Fly on dedicated routes of 50 kilometers in the Russian Belgorod region at the end of 2022. For this purpose, the company with the local authorities hope to achieve the creation of an experimental legal regime for flights in the region. By 2028, the developers intend to increase the flight range up to 170 kilometers. Also, EFCO will also create an all-necessary infrastructure for commercial flights of the AirCab. Elon Musk said in a tweet that his company Neuralink hopes to get the encouragement of its chips in the brain from the US regulatory authorities in the near future. This will allow the company to begin human trials. The developers plan to use the implants to return mobility to the limbs of people with severe spinal cord injuries. By the way, the company will have no shortage of volunteers, as evidenced by the comments under Musk's tweet. Parisian cab operator G7 suspended rides in a Tesla Model 3 from its taxi fleet after a major accident. According to preliminary reports, there was a malfunction in the car. The driver of the car tried to slow down, but the car accelerated and hit a cyclist and 3 pedestrians before crashing into a van. As a result, 1 person was killed and 20 were injured. Hyundai has announced a robot with a great vestibular apparatus. The company plans to bring it to CES 2022 technology show in the United States. The model MOB-ED, for Mobile Eccentric Droid, is a 4-wheeled platform that can carry various loads over uneven terrain, keeping their balance. For example, the robot can drive up a ramp with a tower of champagne glasses without spilling a drop. The MOB-ED has an adaptive wheelbase and flexible steering angles. The robot can accelerate to a speed of 30 kilometers per hour and carry loads of up to 50 kilograms. Interestingly, the wheelbase of the platform can extend to 65 centimeters in fast motion for better stability and shrink to 45 centimeters for low-speed maneuvers in environments with complex geometry. The robot has 12-inch pneumatic tires and a 2 kilowatt-hour battery that lasts about 4 hours without recharging. Sony has also introduced its own version of a robot car. Its development can also overcome various obstacles, but now with 6 retractable wheels. 2 pairs of extendable wheels in the corners with independent suspension and 2 omnidirectional wheels at the front and rear allow the robot to turn on the spot and climb ledges without changing angles. It has a depth chamber on each side, so it can avoid collisions with obstacles, including moving ones on its own. The robot can carry a load of up to 20 kilograms and will be tested by Sony in the construction of a building in Tokyo. American startup Stoke Space, founded by former employees of SpaceX and Blue Origin, received $65 million in investments from the Bill Gates Foundation to develop fully reusable rockets with a daily flight mode. The developers promised to reduce the cost of launches by 20 times, and the first test flights are planned to start at the end of next year. The company already has an innovative reusable rocket engine for the second stage, for the project of which they have already received the prestigious NASA award, as well as some simple execution of the thermal projection system for non-destructive re-entry of the second stage into the atmosphere. Developers at Stanford University have developed the FarmHand robotic arm, capable of properly and safely grabbing raw eggs, bunches of grapes, and plates, as well as lifting jugs of liquids, basketballs, and even an angle grinder. The device replicates the structure of a human brush, but it has an additional sticky surface like a gecko. This sticky material is created in the likeness of the gecko's limbs. The sticky surface of the finger pads creates a firm grip with microscopic flaps. When in full contact with a surface, these valves create the van der Waals force, which is a weak intermolecular force resulting from slight differences in the arrangement of electrons on the outside of the molecules. And as a result, the adhesive can provide a strong bond, but it requires little force to do so, and at the same time, no traces of glue remain on the seized object. The African startup Fractal has developed a prototype of an electric aircraft with bird legs and a tilting cockpit. The Macrobat takes off and lands just like a bird, almost vertically. Tracked supports on the platform allow it to move over rough terrain. The bird's legs are equipped with powerful engines so they can rise, lower, balance, and tilt the body of the aircraft. On takeoff, the Macrobat extends the cockpit to its maximum height, tilts back, and opens the wings so that the large supports tilt 20 degrees from vertical. After takeoff, the supports are folded and slid into the body. The flight range of the vehicle is 150 kilometers, the maximum payload is 150 kilograms, and speed is 180 kilometers per hour. There's room for a pilot in the cockpit, but the Macrobat can also be controlled remotely. In the robotics lab at the Carnegie Mellon University, to train new employees to work with robots, there's a competition every semester where new participants are asked to teach any robot in the lab the silliest, most inefficient, or weirdest walk. The lab is working to get the robots out in challenging real-world environments, such as rocky hills and cluttered houses. Perhaps the goal of such competitions is to find a fresh perspective on the capabilities of mobile robots. Engineers at the Italian Institute of Technology Center for Robotics and Intelligent Systems almost managed to get their iRonCub research platform into flight. They equipped the robot with 4 engines, which should make them Iron Man. The big question here is why? And the researchers answer it this way. First, there are technological advantages. If a drone with a manipulator is difficult to get a grip on an object to perform any necessary actions, a humanoid robot can use one hand to hold onto something and the other to manipulate it. Second, such a robot can be used to test flight exoskeletons for humans. And last, controlling a flying humanoid robot is an open scientific problem that seems very tempting for engineers to solve because no one has ever done it before. Do you think we need flying humanoids? Let us know down below. Oppo introduced the AirGlass Smart Augmented Reality Glasses with a Spark Micro Projector, advanced Micro LED, and a diffractive optical waveguide display that can be controlled by touch, voice, head and hand movements. Oppo AirGlass only weighs 30 grams. All the hardware, including the Qualcomm Snapdragon Wear 4100 platform, is hidden in a thin frame. The company claims that the device shows bright and clear images whether the user is indoors or outdoors and guarantees high-quality augmented reality. AirGlass can be controlled using the Smart Glass app on the Oppo Watch 2 and any Oppo smartphone with Color OS 11 or higher. When AirGlass is paired with the Oppo Watch 2, users can use hand movements to switch apps. Moreover, head movements such as a slight nod or head shake can be used to open and close notifications, for example. The glasses have built-in apps such as weather, calendar, health, teleprompter, translation, and navigation. Would you wear one of these gadgets? Write in the comments. Interestingly, right after the Oppo announcement, Huawei announced that it will unveil its smart glasses with interchangeable lenses and smart glass speakers built into the templates the day after tomorrow. According to teasers, the device will run on Harmony OS and serve as a smart personal assistant. And Ray-Ban Stories smart glasses got updated software and began supporting Facebook Messenger. It's reported now that it will be possible to send, receive, and view messages through the device. To do this, the user will have to use the built-in glasses microphones, speakers, and voice assistant. It will also be possible to make audio calls through the glasses. And according to Mark Zuckerberg, next year the device will receive a new update that will make it even more useful. The Swiss startup Ascento Robotics introduced a pumped-up version of its robot Ascento with a larger diameter of wheels. In addition, the development has received a replaceable battery, the ability to work autonomously, and other improvements. The Ascento Pro, with 2 dual-section legs with wheels at the ends, has speed, maneuverability, and stability. The robot has 3 depth cameras at the front of the body and 1 at the back. It has lights for illumination and movement in the dark. Thanks to this, Ascento Pro can move autonomously, reaching speeds of up to 12 km per hour and moving for 8 hours without recharging. In the future, the startup hopes to make its robot commercial and find real applications for it. The US military has developed special software to predict the reaction of China to certain US actions. For this development, the Pentagon collected data from 2020. This included sales of military goods and visits of congressmen to pressure points such as Taiwan. The new software will allow US authorities to estimate in advance the effect of certain planned actions according to the military 4 months in advance. In Canada, car thieves have begun to use Apple's AirTag to commit crimes. They put a tracker in the car they want to steal and track it through the locator app on an iPhone. The signal is transmitted using an Apple-branded smartphone. The tracker is enough for any iPhone of any user to be at a distance of 5 meters. To date, 5 cases have been reported in Canada. German Bionic showed off the 5th version of its carbon fiber exoskeleton Cray X. The device helps to lift and carry loads weighing up to 30 kilograms, taking the load off the arms, legs, and lower back, controlling the correct position of the latter, and pushing the legs forward to facilitate movement with the load. A built-in electronic assistant will alert the operator if he or she is lifting the load incorrectly in terms of safety for the joints, and the Internet of Things technology allows the overall efficiency of the worker to be monitored via the Cray X. The exoskeleton, with its replaceable battery, is IP54 dust and moisture proof, meaning it's not afraid of splashing water and dust. Teams from several NASA and European Space Agency centers are preparing a set of missions that will safely return samples collected by the Mars Perseverance rover back to Earth. Innovative technologies and methods for landing on the red planet, collecting samples, and launching them from the surface of Mars to return to Earth are now being tested at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, the Marshall Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland, and the Langley Research Center in Hampton, Virginia. And remember that this will be the first mission in history of its kind. China has announced plans to move its first manned mission to the moon from 2030s to 2026. Working on the preparation of the mission is already underway. It's based on the design of the Changcheng 5 rocket rather than the heavier Changcheng 9 rocket as previously thought. The new 90-meter-high, 3-stage lunar rocket will be able to orbit 27 tons of payloads around the moon. Considering that NASA's Artemis program, scheduled for 2025, is now struggling with the speed of preparation of all necessary elements, China could become the first on the moon in recent history. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission has opened a case against Mark Zuckerberg's company, Meta. The attention of government agencies has been drawn to the company's massive buyout of popular VR startups. Recently, Meta has bought at least 5 startups in the field of virtual reality, including the developer of the popular game Beat Saber, and now wants to buy a VR fitness application Supernatural for $400 million, which was the official reason for the antitrust investigation. Interestingly, experts estimate that Meta owns most of the consumer VR market as it is, largely due to the success of its Quest 2 headset. But it seems that the company has seriously decided to become the founding member of the Meta universe, and in order to avoid setting up transitions within VR between apps and games, is trying to just buy up everything worthwhile. The Center for Robotics and Mechatronics at the German Aerospace Center showed the lone Christmas party of the humanoid robot Justine. The robot is tidying up his room and seems to be introducing himself to the company of his friends. FCI's Information Technology Research Center also recorded a holiday video with Spot and animal robots. How do you plan to spend your holidays this season? Let us know in the comments. And hey, while you're here, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and don't miss any new episodes from the world of high tech.